we have the Public Safety Director of Union County College here today, also representatives from Union County College, who will give a little couple of words in reference to the safety of the matter. I'll call upon Public Safety Director, Mr. Hines. Also, James, if you want to come up also afterwards or give me any other information you want to welcome to.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, members of the board, members of the audience. My name is Joe Hines, and I am the Public Safety Director of Union County College. I come to Union County College after a 25-year career with the New Jersey State Police, where I retired as a major and a commander of over 1,600 troopers in the 29 states throughout the states of the state. I've also spent a lot of time in part of my career in the emergency management section, where I was responsible for the state emergency operations center, and the update and approval of the emergency operations state operations plan. I say that because the number one issue in all the after-action report that I've either read or authored was communications. And not just communications, but redundant communications. I say that because as we put our first responders in harm's way, as we saw last night in that incident, we have to make sure that they have everything that they need to effectively do their job. I can say without a doubt that if and when Cranford responds to our campus, that they are unable to communicate via cell phone. And it puts them in an untenable position of not being able to fulfill some of the operations that they themselves would like to perform. We had an incident a couple of months ago where they actually wanted to send a text message of a suspect, but was unable to do so because of lack of cell phone service. The office that I occupy, and I'm responsible for sending out emergency alerts and notifications by law, the Clery Act, to our students, I received 0 cell phone coverage. So if I were to send out a text message to my desktop, in theory sending out to my cell phone, I would have no way of knowing whether or not that message was actually received by our students. Also increasingly, and I guess I'm looking at this as a first responder who's been impacted severely by the death of the police officer today, is that law enforcement increasingly are depending on the eyes and ears of people who are actually at the scene by way of cell phone to direct them to and to allow them to respond, not only a response, but response with the correct amount of resources in order to effectively stop one of these incidents. In addition, like I mentioned, under the Clery Act, we are required to provide timely notifications to students, faculty, and staff on our campuses of any imminent or dangerous threats and ongoing crimes that impact our community. And even as we sit in this audience now, I'm sure all of us would like to know that somebody has thought about how to notify us when and if an incident were to be outside. So 95% coverage for me is good enough. It is particularly if you're in that other 5% that are unaware that something is going on around you. So it's a public safety perspective. I have no idea how it should be done. I just know that it should be done. And as I was thinking today, when I heard that officer was killed, almost immediately I thought about my thoughts and prayers for his family, but it would probably be better suited, and that's appropriate, if we would be able to improve communications for law enforcement. If we're asking them to come on campus and help us, then we need to do everything that we can to help them. So if you have any comments, questions, I'll answer those. Again, that last night impacted or changed my presentation away from students. Just think about those people that we ask in uniform. If we ask them, the number one incident, and I've been in part of a lot of disasters, is communication, the failure of communication systems during disasters. We need this redundancy, not only for our students, faculty, and staff, but for our first responders.